What is going on, family? Maniacs, masters, and princesses. It's good to see you guys. We are back, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. Johnny is in a blue hoodie right now. He's in his blue death metal hoodie. Yeah, I'm not wearing black today, guys, so I feel a little off. But I'm still on. So we're back. We're finishing these documentaries today. We're doing both of them. We're going to put them all in the same video. We're not even going to mess around. We're just going to put them all in the same video, and let's just go ahead and jump right into them.
Breaking new gate. 背中を向けたまま聞いてよ全部伝えたいから
After its formation, BAND-MAID consisted of 5 members, and the only guitarist was Konami. At this time, BAND-MAID wasn't really a hard rock band, but it was something that all the members wanted to move towards. It was then decided that the addition of another guitar would help them achieve this vision.
If whatever they're playing right now is what they first started playing, like that little pop punk sound, I'm not hating it. Not hating it, guys. Not saying that obviously what they're doing now isn't kick-ass, but like I said, I'm a pop punk kid at heart, yo. I love it. So I'm not hating the sound.
So, they had 2 options: recruiting a guitarist or having a remaining member learn to play a new instrument. They knew they didn't want another member, so it was up to Saiki or Miku to fill this role. As expected, Saiki refused, so Miku took responsibility as the founder of the band to learn to play guitar. At the beginning, Miku's guitar was little more than an ornament to make the pigeon look cool rather than an instrument to play on stage. Miku had a lot to learn and not much time to practice, so she used to play some notes here and there without having a real impact on the song. There are even some songs where she didn't even hold her guitar. Miku's first guitar was a Rickenbacker 620 that she used for practice and for concerts. She chose this guitar for its looks, as she didn't have any other knowledge of guitars back then. Miku never thought about playing guitar. Like Misa never thought about playing bass, but contrary to Misa, who fell in love with her instrument, Miku didn't like playing guitar that much. As she practiced, her fingers hurt, and she was asked to play more and more, increasing this pain and the blisters. Not a great start for our pigeon and her guitar. As the years have passed by, BAND-MAID songs have been getting more and more intense. Miku now had enough experience as a guitarist to notice that she needed a new guitar to match with this new kind of music. Fortunately, she joined Konami, who was invited to visit the Zomaitis factory by Kanda Shokai from Kanda Shokai Corporation, the company that owns Greco guitars and Zomaitis guitars. During this visit, Miku fell in love with the Zomaitis A24MF for its looks and its heavy sound, so she asked if she could try this model.
That shit looks
Since
dope
then,
as fuck.
she's never stopped using Zomaitis guitars. Song after song, Miku was getting more guitar parts to play, and when she began to feel under pressure, the other members cared enough about Miku to tell her that it was okay to put it down if she wasn't sure that she wanted to continue playing guitar. And even though she did think about quitting the guitar, Miku didn't want to bring an additional member to BAND-MAID, so she just kept practicing to match the level required by these new songs. We know how much of a hard worker Miku is, so there was no way that she was going to give up. Also, with more songs with different tunings and more concerts to perform, Miku needed more guitars, so she added other Zomaitis guitars to her collection, like the Zomaitis CS24MF, Aces and Eights. Miku added a lot of guitars over the years, electric and acoustic, and almost all of them are from Zomaitis. And a special model was teased by Miku in early 2021 and confirmed a month later. A signature model named Flappy Pigeon. Zomaitis talked to
Flappy Pigeon is obviously a very fitting name. I just had to throw that out there.
Miku about making a custom guitar for her as a surprise present. She didn't believe them at first, thinking it was a joke. At first, only the metal front design was planned to be customized, but Miku asked if she could also change the shape of the metal, and that this model fits her current settings. As Miku seemed to know what she wanted to do with her signature model, Zomaitis let her make any modifications she wanted to. She worked with a designer called Koji Takeuchi, who helped her create this beautiful design. Miku even used her handwriting for the logo at the center of the guitar. As expected, a lot of pigeons are visible everywhere on this design. Miku said that she chose this name with the thought of being able to fly around the world with her guitar. The Zomaitis Flappy Pigeon was sold on March 9th, 2021 with a beautiful case and a certificate of authenticity signed by KOBATO Miku herself. About a month later, on April 16th, a Miku KOBATO special exhibition was announced. The event took place in Ochanomizu Gaki Center from April 16th to May 5th and featured almost all Miku's guitars. Fans were able to check Miku's guitar collection and even buy a guitar or a Zomaitis t-shirt. T. Shinji had the chance to visit this exhibition and shared some of his photos of the trip.
シンジさん、ありがとうございました。もう一人、別のスペシャルゲストによるスペシャルコーナーの時間です。
We actually have two guests.
うわ、ゲストが2人も。
Yeah, we have two incredible guitarists with us today.
それでは、スペシャルゲストのお二人と小鳩さんのギタリストとしての進化についてお話ししましょう。こんにちは。お二人とも自己紹介していただけますか？
Hey, this is Axe from the Axe Japan YouTube channel from sunny Scotland. I've been playing guitar for about 26 years now.
26年も？すごいですね。
I'm a songwriter, performer, and teacher of guitar. The BAND-MAID song that got me hooked on them was probably YOLO.
皆さんこんばんは、DPG です。今回ですね、海外のバンドメイドファンコミュニティの方から声をかけていただきまして、コバトミクのギターについて語ってほしいというふうに言われまして、あんまりこういうのやったことないんで、ちょっと緊張しますね。
大丈夫ですよ。
バンドメイドにとってコバトミクの立ち位置っていうのは皆さんご存知だと思うんですけども、ざっくり言うとバンドを結成した張本人であり、主にはギターボーカルと作詞、あと、バンドの広告塔みたいな立ち位置と、私は認識してるんですけども、はい。あとはハトですね。はい。
So I'm not actually too sure when Miku started playing guitar, but I get the impression that she hadn't been playing guitar for long when the band started, and you can kind of see that from early performances.
彼女がギターを始めたのがバンドメイド結成っていうタイミングだと思うので、2013年
はい
ですかね。で、ギター弾く人だとわかると思うんですけど、数年ぐらいで、人前でプロとして弾くっていうのはかなりメンタルが強靭じゃないと厳しいなというふうに思ってます。で、それがね、例えばギタリストにとって簡単なフレーズだったりとかしても、さすがにちょっと人前で、ちょっと練習しただけでっていうのは厳しいのかなと思います。で、2013年にギターを始めたとして、その後1年後には、メイドインジャパンだったり、その翌年には、ニュービギニングか、スリルとかフリーザー収録されてるやつですね。あの辺がリリースされて、翌年には、ブランドニューメイド、フリーダムとかアロンとか入ってるアルバムですね。
Also, the way that these songs were written back in the early days, her purpose, guitar-wise, was really just to back up Konami, and a lot of the parts, guitar parts, especially in the first few releases, were just single guitars. Really, they really could have got away with just having the one guitar player in the early days. But I think because Miku is a songwriter and she was learning guitar, then why not have her just do backup for, the main parts of the songs. Obviously she's singing as well, and you can tell if you go back and watch like early performances and stuff, there are quite a few mistakes on her part. But yeah, you can chalk that up to many things: lack of experience. Obviously singing and playing is not easy. It's not the easiest thing in the world. It takes a lot of skill to do that. So there are mistakes here and there. If you follow the band closely over the years, she has got so much better at playing guitar. And also singing and playing guitar, and also the confidence has grown a lot, especially the confidence. It really shows. She's a lot more comfortable playing now and just letting loose. You can tell that she's not putting as much thought into it as she was before, because it's all become second nature now to her.
でこの段階でもギター歴まだ3年なんで、これも本当にギターやる方には分かることだと思うんですけど、わずか3年っていうともうほぼ初心者と変わんない状態ですよね。その状態で作詞やってたりとかプロモーションもやったりとか、編曲だったりとかアレンジですねとかやってる中で、あまり練習の時間が取れないって考えると、通常の、一般の方がギターをやる3年とはちょっと違うのかなっていうふうに感じるんですけど、その当初はまだ弾いてるフレーズを簡単というか、パワーコードだったりとか、それほどテクニカルなことはやっていないなという印象ですけども、バンドされる方は分かってらっしゃると思うんですけど、そういったサウンドがあって初めてバンドに厚みが出るので、必要というところでいうと、十分必要なポジションではあるのかなと思います。
Obviously she has a great mentor in the band, Konami. It would be amazing to have someone like that in the band to actually teach you. But her progress has just come through practice, and when you're in a touring band, that's all you're doing. You're playing the same stuff every night, and that's what practice is. It's just repetition. So being on the road all the time, she's playing constantly. So yeah, she's bound to improve, and that's exactly what's happened. I think also her improvement on guitar has led to the evolution of the band. It's actually a very important thing that's happened during their career. I think Konami was a bit limited in terms of writing in the early days because she was basically only writing one guitar part.
で、その後また、2017年には Just Bring It、 これ僕大好きなアルバムなんですけど、
私も大好きなアルバムです。
で、翌年にはワールドドミネーションという流れになっていきますけど、この段階でギター歴が、5年、ですよね。で、結構 BPM が速くなってきてて、その中でもスライドだったり、オクターブ奏法だったりとかっていうのがあるので、正直、ギター歴5年でここまで弾けるっていうのは相当すごいなというふうに個人的には思います。で、ここから劇的に変わるんですけども、2019年のカンからのリリースからチョーキングとかのタウンフレーズとかもバンバン入ってきていて、 でも楽曲としてもかなりアクセントになってる部分があるんですよね。あまり感から聞かれない方はちょっとぜひコバトパートに耳を傾けていただけたらなと思うんですけど、結構難しいことやってます。この歴で考えると相当ハードル高いことをやってるなと思います。で、2021年ぐらいに、ギター歴8年かで、安心ワールドですよね、結構直近ですけども安心ワールドリリースして、で、正直自分も耳コピしたりとかしてカバーするんですけど、アフターライフの B メロのバッキングとかすごい度肝抜かれましたね。むずいって普通に思いました。
Okay. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. That was I didn't want to like pause it. It might not even be over that part of the segment, at least of it. But I thought it was like really interesting that they have like these guys who were more specifically focusing on the idea of like her guitar playing from like a professional perspective, if you will. I know that they were saying that they don't like to consider themselves professionals or whatever, but obviously they both are very technical and guitar players have been playing for a very long time. Because they're obviously talking about like a lot of like the specifics of like how she was playing and like what types of notes she was playing and like all of that, which is I thought was very interesting because I would not consider myself even a guitar player. I fiddle, you know what I mean? Like the same way that I can play piano, the same way I can play a little bass, you know what I mean? Like I know enough about the instrument to like hold my own, but never enough to like can say that I can play any of those instruments. You know what I mean? I can play around with it and play a few songs and chords type of deal. But I know enough about the instruments to know that like a lot of like what they were talking about in terms of just like my knowledge of like music theory. So I found it very interesting the fact that they were like breaking it down like almost like by year and like by album and like by what songs were coming out, like, and they were like literally getting that technical of like breaking down like, well, she was playing a lot of like these type of chords in like this time frame, and then like she was playing like these type of chords in like this time frame, where like this album came out and then all of a sudden she was doing this and they were incorporating that, and like, you know, it's just, I thought it was just really interesting that way, because it's like when you're everybody takes music so much differently than others, and like even when you listen back and listen to your favorite songs, like you might listen to it from like different perspectives and different times, right? Where like one time you're like just really focused on drum work, and like the other time like you get lost in nothing but the bass work type of thing. But like normally everybody I think has like a specific ear of like what they're listening for, and a lot of times guitar players and stuff like that, they're looking for specific stuff because it's what they like the most, right? So seeing like the guitar player expert kind of break down that specifically, I thought was really cool, and I enjoyed the discussion. I thought that was cool that they incorporated that.
But now that Miku's a lot more
See, they weren't
comfortable
done yet.
and has gained a lot of proficiency on guitar, she's able to write parts with 2 guitar parts in mind. And especially in the last couple of releases from BAND-MAID, there's a lot more songs that have separate guitar parts, like guitars 1 and 2, where they'll do different things, and sometimes they'll even harmonize with each other. There's even some little lead things that Miku does now. That's just a really nice evolution to see, going from just playing chords back up all the time to actually playing some lead guitar, which is really, really cool to see. Just to give you a quick example, if you take her solo from the onset instrumental, which is basically this. Just chords, we're in drop D, so you can basically bar. It's like one of the easiest things to do. To her solo in Sai Nakadori, where she's actually playing actual octaves in more of a solo environment, I guess.
違いがよくわかりますね。
She's actually doing stuff like that. That's just night and day from, you know, from a solo, like just a chord solo, to actually doing octaves. And I wouldn't be surprised on the next couple of albums that you will see her actually doing like some cool like little lead stuff, actual maybe even some guitar dueling with Konami. It would be really awesome to see.
小バトさんとカナミさんのギター対決を見てみたいです。
And speaking as a guitar teacher myself, I can only imagine how proud Konami is of Miku and how far she's come. And you can see it when they're playing together live. Whenever Miku's doing a part that's more complicated than what she's used to, and you can see the look of, she's doing it on her face, which is it's super nice to see.
ギターにこう練習に時間が使えない彼女が8年で阪神ワールドのリズムギターを務めているのは驚異的だなと思いますし、で、音源の収録っていうのは以前メンバーが言ってましたけど、ミンチョが演奏してるっていうので、ライブとちょっとこう音源っていうのは若干違うんですけども、それでもやっぱりこう歌いながら弾くっていうことがあるので、多少簡略化されててもそれは仕方ないなと思いますし、それでも十分難しいフレーズ弾いてるなというふうに私自身は感じています。で、ここ最近の曲なんかは特にそうですけど、もうメタリカばりのゴリッゴリのバッキングをリズムキープしながらちゃんとこう観客に笑顔を見せつつステージングパフォーマンスをしつつ、ちゃんとリズムキープしてるっていうのがすごいなと単純に思います。で、彼女のそういった安定感あるバッキングがあるから、ミンチョが結構自由なフレーズを奏でても、音が薄くならないというか、結構ミンチョって単音フレーズだったりとか高音フレーズ弾いてることが意外と多いんですよね。なので、低音域中音域っていうのをもちろん低音はベースがあったりとかするんですけども、その間の中音域だったりとかっていうのをしっかりとこうコバトが埋めているというような感じで、バンド全体でちゃんと本当にバランスが取れているなという印象ですね。
So yeah, like I said, I think BAND-MAID's musical evolution actually has quite a lot to do with Miku's improvement on guitar, and we can only just look forward to seeing what comes next. We might start seeing even more sort of complicated guitar arrangements involving two guitars. So yeah, we just have that to look forward to, and yeah, we'll just continue being proud of the progress that she's made.
で、あんまり普段こうやってコバトミクのギターをどうだとかっていうのをあまりこう真剣に考えたことがなかったんですけど、今回こういう機会をもらったので、いい機会になったなと思います。これからも私はバンドメイドを応援していきたいなと思ってます。以上です。
ギタリスト小バトさんについてのお話、お二人ともありがとうございました。
Over the years, Miku's journey as a guitarist is probably one of the most unconventional. She literally started with zero knowledge and a guitar as a prop to evolve into the well-trained guitarist that we know today. Miku's guitar became essential for BAND-MAID, and we can expect that she will have a bigger role to play in the future. Even though Miku is writing most of the lyrics for BAND-MAID today, it was not the case during the first years of the band's activity. It is very common for the debut of a band under a label that the management hires one or more lyricists to provide the songs for the band to perform. That was the case for BAND-MAID, who worked with Akutsu Kentaro to write the lyrics of their first single and their first mini-album called Made in Japan. He even helped with the music and arrangement of Smile, which was released in 2019, a few years after their last collaboration. After Made in Japan, BAND-MAID worked with other lyricists for the next 2 mini-albums, New Beginning and Brand New Made. And it was with Brand New Made that Miku finally got to show her writing skills, as she was able to debut her first lyrics for Alone with the help of Psyche. She also did the lyrics for Yuragu and Freedom. Now you might wonder,
Fire.
why Miku's lyrics? How was this decided? Especially considering that before joining BAND-MAID, Konami worked as a singer-songwriter, so she had the experience of writing lyrics. Nevertheless, Konami, Miku, and Psyche decided to try to write lyrics for a few songs. Psyche said that she wanted to write lyrics but couldn't come up with the right words, and Konami's lyrics were a bit too airy-fairy to match BAND-MAID's current style, so they decided that Miku's lyrics fit the best. And Miku has her ways to get the inspiration she needs. Most of the time, when a song is done, she listens and takes notes about what's going through her mind. Then, she looks for ways to actually see what she has in her head, like watching movies, reading books, or searching materials on the internet. As long as writing lyrics doesn't become a duty, but something she can do whenever she wants, Miku enjoys going through this process over and over to write new songs. Let's take, for example, Influencer, that was released last year. Miku asked Psyche and Akane for a theme that could match with the song Konami wrote, and as Miku has been on TikTok for quite a while, Psyche suggested to talk about women living on social media. The trend of influencers on social media grew a lot with the pandemic, so it was a great suggestion. Miku read a lot of interviews and analyzed the behavior of those influencers that inspired her for the lyrics, like having 2 accounts on Instagram, one secret where you post your daily life photos and talk to your friends, and a fake account where you post only good-looking pictures to attract more followers. Miku also likes to employ words with multiple meanings, or even puns, as she did an Influencer with the Japanese-English pun for the lyrics chit-chat, which means meaningless conversation in English, and chit-cha, which means narrow-minded in Japanese.
将来の展望なんて正体不明じゃなんで社内マウントがせんちっちゃちっちゃ高まるアドバンテージマジこれフィルター神じゃん Push it like a check it out share happy let's dance
Psyche is singing it closer to the Japanese word to make the pun even harder to find for the Japanese audience. For songs tied to an existing media like openings or endings, Miku is very involved with the material that will be linked to the song. Last year, she released a song called With You for her side project, Clupo. This song is the end title for the anime Smile of the Ars Notoria. And to write the lyrics, Miku...
I'm pretty sure that Clupo was the band, and I think it might have even been the song I reacted to and totally jacked that one up. Johnny was totally wrong on that one, for sure. I think everything I said about like who it was and when it happened was all wrong, but it's all coming back. It's all coming back, yo.
Read the novels and played the game from the same license to be in sync with the storyline. That's what I call true commitment. Some songs are even written while BAND-MAID's touring, like Spirit or Carry On Living, which was born in a cafe in Berlin. Or more recently, Memorable, which was written during the US tour, along with the filming of a music video shot in California.
I feel my heart with free to love you love me 言葉にできない This time We don't surrender 溢れ出す想いを集めて空に浮かべよう I dream about you
There is also one song that was written especially for the fans, as a gift from BAND-MAID, and planned for the Nippon Budokan concert that was canceled due to COVID. It made a lot of us Maniacs cry with its powerful lyrics that gave us hope when we were all having a hard time during the pandemic. And this song was about us.
I wonder how did I do it now? You made on that cry. It makes me feel nostalgic. That the way to walk my heart will always be with you. And I let it more. 明日が見えない不安に溺れていて何もできない不安なくてただ切にただただ切に願う日常物と日々変わってくこの日を世界でも僕らは生きる大丈夫ほらここにいる一人じゃないLetting you away
Now, the very astute of you might have noticed that Miku has a special persona during interviews or when she's on stage.
はい、お帰りなさいませご主人様お嬢様、バンドメイドのギターボーカルをやっておりますフルポー小バトミクですよろしくお願いしますポー
And not only when she's dressed with her maid costume, this habit is so imbued in her head that this verbal tic is present in her private life too.
もういいですけど諦めたその衣装着てない時とか、普通にこう終わりますこういう収録とか終わって帰りますってなった時に、ちょっとコンビニ寄ろうとかで寄るとでレジ行くじゃないですか。でありがとうございますポーとかなんかレシートご利用になりますかあお願いしますポーみたいなのを出ちゃっててでも出てることも言わないとわからないみたいなので、はっって自分でびっくりしてるんですよ。
そう自分でびっくりするんだと相手の顔を見て
えみたいな顔してるんだと。
But she wasn't always like this. During the first years of BAND-MAID, she didn't have this funny pigeon persona and talked more normally, but always with a great energy.
ということで初めましての方が今日は多いみたいなので改めましてバンドメイドと申します、私たちバンドメイドは先ほど紹介していただきましたようにメイドの服を着てバンドをやってるそのまんまですね。なのでバンドのメイドバンドメイドと言います。ちなみにロゴは R がついてるので R 忘れないようにしてくださいはい、私たちバンドメイドはですね、皆様のことをあなたもあなたもあなたもあなたもご主人様お嬢様として呼んでおります。
Once you get used to Miku talking now, listening to her not saying po feels very weird, even though not everyone likes this side of her. Under BAND-MAID's previous manager, she tried to bring her persona but was quickly discouraged to continue.
やめてくれって恥ずかしいからやめてくれって
マネージャーさんも今は違うマネージャーさんに変わったんですけでもその前のマネージャーさんの時は小畑さん本当にちゃんとしてくださいって怒られたんです本当にやめてくださいって怒られてあ気をつけますぽって言って頑張ってこうちゃんとしなきゃと思って済ましてたんですぽ。でもマネージャー変わった時に今がチャンスだと思ってちょっと言ってたら意外とそっちがこう返してくれたのでもっとやっていこうぽと思って自由に言えるぽと思って
So, you may ask, why po?
いい質問ですね。私も気になります。小鳩さん説明していただけませんか？
小バト
ミクと先ほど自己紹介しましたがコバトミクのコバトは小さい鳩にミクなので、私小さい鳩なんですこ
こは皆さん飲み込んでください。すっと飲み込んでください。
ちょっと苦いもの飲み込むみたいな気持ちで飲み込んでいただいて、
はい、
なので鳩なのでポーって語尾についたり、くるぽーって泣いたりしますポー。解決ポー。
解決きっと受け入れてくれるはずなので、
受け入れていただかないと多分耳障りが大変なことになりますポー。
なるほど、説明ありがとう。
That was like the coolest way to basically say if you don't like it, then fuck it. If you don't like it, then you're probably gonna get annoyed.
ありがとうございました。ナレーターさん、続けてください。
Thank you. Miku is actually using what is called in Japanese kyaragobi, a common technique used in anime to make fictional characters more memorable and distinctive. Like the use of the onomatopoeia "nya" by cat-like characters at the end of their phrases. Except that Miku is a pigeon. So she uses the word po. It's been years since she became the small pigeon that we know today, always full of energy and happiness with her cute and funny persona. And when she is on stage, during MCs, Miku becomes the funniest comedian for a few minutes of pure joy.
いつものことならここで次の曲が始まるんですが、今回はですね、もう少しコバトタイムが続くと、このクラップが鳴ったということはお分かりの方もいらっしゃると思います。次の曲、コバトのソロの曲をやりたいと思います。一緒にクラップでメンバーを呼び込もうと。また鳴った。なんでカラオケと大阪と名古屋とやってきてもコバト飽きたよ。もういっそ一曲まるまる歌うっぽ。放り込まれた意味を探す日常、エビワンため息ばかり脱ぎ捨てて乗り込めるって終わるんかいぽ。ちょっとノリノリだった気持ち返してぽ。どうせなら一曲まるまる歌いたかったぽ。頑張れコバト、頑張れコバト。ここはゼップ東京だけどコバトの気持ちは大丈夫。みんな優しい、みんな優しい。きっと次こそメンバーも戻ってきてくれるはず。きっとね、きっとね。もっとクラップをして、じゃあメンバーをお願いしますの気持ちで一緒にコバトもクラップするので、どうぞご協力よろしくお願いします。クラップスタート。
ちょっと疲れちゃいました。でもコバトさんの MC はいつも面白くて大好きです。もっと見れますか？
All right, but just a little bit. We have a lot of work for the next part.
次の動画は何から始まるんですか？
Let me check. Oh, おまじないタイム。
おまじないタイム大好き。楽しみ。残りは来週にしましょう。次回は必ず最後まで見ます。
Alright, we jumping into the next one because I'm pretty sure this is basically just promotion for the next one. So we're gonna jump into the next one.
Breaking new gate.
That's right. Today, we are talking about Omajinai time, or magic spell time in English, which comes from the maid cafes. When you order drinks or food in a maid cafe, the maid will say, "Moi, moi, kyun," while making a heart symbol with both hands to cast a spell over your food and drink and make it even more delicious. One of the more popular foods in a maid cafe is an amu rice, complete with a cute illustration drawn by the maid with ketchup. Miku actually did one in the music video of Don't You Tell Me, but it didn't last very long.
Song, but I don't think
As
I've
she
ever
worked for
watched the
some time
music
in
video.
2 different
I've
maid
only seen the
cafes.
clips in it from in here.
Miku is using all her experience and has adopted it to the concert audience. Even though the structure is, well, let's just say you will never experience the same Omajanai time twice with Miku. She has a real talent for improvisation and uses it to engage with the audience. During Omajanai time, the other members are totally free to hang around. Sometimes they just play together,
Are you ready for?
have fun,
This Pocky before Mrs. Nose Hole. It's Ito Mrs. Nose Hole. She's so dead.
look for trouble, or try to avoid trouble. There was even a time when each member took a turn at the drums. But most of the time, it goes like this. Explanations.
面白い time is me magic spell time. Yes.
Repeat words.
I say moi moi, you say? I say kyun kyun, you say?
Miku crying because the masters and princesses didn't make enough noise.
Wow! No, 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 no. I want bigger and bigger boys!
Repeat words again.
It's all starting to really kind of come to make sense of like why there's like 3 parts of this and like why there's so much talking about it. Like the last video, there's a lot about just like talking about her guitar playing. Like this part is like a whole different side of the band that like me personally I've never seen. Right? I've never been to a live show. Like I've never seen like this behind the scenes stuff. So like watching these documentaries I've found very informative because like you're seeing the different personalities from each member of the band, and she really kind of is like the focal point of it that way. Whereas like she was the one who lived that maid, like cafe maid lifestyle, that like she incorporates that into the band when it comes to like this persona, this personality that she does like through BAND-MAID and this stage where like it's a persona, but it also is her at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's, I get what she's doing there. And I think you guys know what I mean too. So like, I think they're doing a good job of like highlighting that and showcasing that.
and Po. You get the picture. Depending on the stage, Miku walks a lot during her omajanai time, but she never runs out of energy. She even left the stage once to go off into the middle of the crowd for one of her funniest moments. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, BAND-MAID was not able to perform live for a long time, but they found a solution: online okujis. Their first online concert was performed on July 23, 2020, at Haravutai in Tokyo. And even though there was no audience in the venue, every member had a lot of fun. So they continued to stream live concerts 5 more times between 2020 and 2021. Of course, omajanai time was shorter, but Miku did the call and response with the viewers while looking at the camera, which was quite funny, and I'm sure that a lot of you actually cheered at your screen like you were there. Proof that even a pandemic can't stop Miku from performing her magic spell.
Shout out to them for trying just to even do it.
In
you know
the
what I
end,
mean? With the call and
Omajanai
response
time
part.
is a special moment between Miku and the audience, where she is giving the best of herself, whether the audience is there or not. And you can't help but smile with pure happiness and joy during these few minutes of fun interactions with her. Miku's omajanai time is now a part of BAND-MAID, and something to look forward to when you attend a BAND-MAID serving in the future. Whether you're a fan of it or not, you can't deny that Miku is an incredible entertainer, and she is great at bonding with the crowd. And her omajanai time is something that I believe only she can do.
One more. Say!
Gotta love how she just gives it up every time, full energy into it, just full sell. The middle-aged man.
キャラメルマシュマロいちご飴これ全部可愛い女の子ねでも私が好きなのゲームいつになったら女の子になれるの
いやすごい可愛い子が来たなって思ってでも中身はなかなかおじさんだったりするので
中身おじさんなのクルッポは
クルッポおじさん
どういうところが
楽屋で酒とかずっと食べるんです臭かった
どこが鳩やねん
This is actually the most accurate description of Miku, confirmed by each and every member and Miku herself. Despite her cute look, she is a middle-aged man inside. This statement comes from the fact that her taste, words, and gestures are old-fashioned. For example, she likes to eat dried flying fish or dried salmon, which smells very bad. She also likes sochu and sake, which both are seen as older men's drinks in Japan. talking about alcohol, she is the one who can drink the most amongst BAND-MAID members.
Even more than
Regarding her
hobbies, what's her name? Misa on stage.
Has been
Joe?
into horse racing for a long, long time. When she was little, Miku played a game called Chocobo Stallion, which was released in 1999 on PlayStation. One day, she was told by her mother that this game looks a lot like horse racing. So Miku looked into the sport, and since that day, she has spent a lot of time watching live horse races during the weekends. Around 2012 or 2013, she bought her first tickets and went to a racetrack right after moving to Tokyo. Later on, she even invested in a horse called Blue Rose Ship. Miku confessed in an interview that she would love to be able to spend more time with horses, as it's a real passion for her. Her dream would be to compete with a horse named Krupo. She loves to imagine the commentator saying Krupo, Krupo during a race and announcing that Krupo won. That would be funny on so many levels to hear that on television.
ビルシーナはピンチ、そこからレインボークルッポかわすか。しかし懸命に食い下がるビルシーナ、レインボークルッポ、そしてピクシープリンセス、レインボークルッポか、レインボークルッポか、レインボークルッポ、レインボークルッポです。その後ビルシーナ、ピクシープリンセス、虹がかかりました京都競馬場。
Awesome.
レインボークルッポです。
Miku also loves to play poker, and she's not just playing for fun. She's playing to
She
win.
really is like a middle-aged man.
Miku participated in an open poker
Drinks
tour
her
in
sake, plays her
2022
poker,
and
goes
finished in
to
second
bed
place.
at the horses.
And she's so competitive that she tweeted shortly after this defeat to show how frustrated she was. Miku also appeared on a TV show produced by the singer Gact called Poker Cross Poker, Industry One-on-One Tournament in 2018, where each contestant represents different industries like idol, motorsports, actress, boxing, or magician. And as you can imagine, Miku was the representative of the maid industry. Unfortunately, she lost against Ririka Suto, who represented the idol industry and won with the most incredible luck during the last round.
Open.
Yep. The chances, man. The chances. Heartbreaking.
ご愁傷様です。
Miku is also a huge fan
The
of
what the
Miffy,
fuck, man,
a
moment.
fictional
You know what
rabbit
I mean?
created
Like,
in the
what the
Netherlands
hell, bro?
in 1955. A lot of people assume that Miffy is a Japanese
Shit.
brand, as it resembled Sanrio's characters like Hello Kitty. But Hello Kitty actually was introduced for the first time 20 years after Miffy. Still, Miffy is very popular in Japan, with a lot of stores all over the country. Miku posted a lot of photos of her Miffy merchandise on Instagram over the years. We also know that Miku used to play video games, and we can assume that she continues in her free time. She even streamed live while she was playing PUBG Mobile in 2020.
That's awesome.
どやっぽこれで大丈夫っぽ聞こえますかっぽ
Playing some PUBG. Pretty good, yeah. Especially for the mobile shit. Fuck.
Do you remember when I told you that when she was little, Miku often came back home with a lot of bumps and bruises? Well, actually, it never stopped. Miku had several injuries over her years with BAND-MAID. Saiki talked quickly about this subject in the Gold Rush interview, and we can see that Miku's legs had a lot of bruises.
なんだすぐこける転ぶ普通にみんなで歩いてても いないみたいな。そしたらこう溝に落ちてるとか、
そうなの。
階段からスタタタタタンって落ちちゃうとか。
危ないやん。
気がついたら傷がいっぱい増えてる。
お前足傷だらけ。
映さないでください。
見てちゃんもクルッポの足傷だらけです。この辺マジで鳩です。
That part is really
In another
pigeon.
interview, Miku explains that while she was doing some washing, a glass fell off, shattered at the sink, and a part of the broken glass hit her thigh. She had 10 stitches from that wound. We can actually see the look of her scar on this photo. Miku also broke her ribs at least twice, one time during the pandemic, and one time during a tour a few years ago. And you know how energetic Miku is on stage. But despite the pain, she went through the performance without making anything worse. All the members often joke about Miku being cursed or having bad luck with all these incidents. Like this story, when Miku was in a taxi and the driver got into a car accident. She also laughs about the fact that she hits walls and doors all the time, so we can imagine that she's used to hitting everything around her. With everything that's happened and probably still is happening to her, we can say that Miku is a tough little pigeon. Miku participated in 7. At first, Japan in Motion was just a series of videos introducing different parts of Japan, until TSS TV worked with No Life, a French TV channel, to turn it into a TV show. This project started in 2009, featuring foreign personalities discovering different places all over the country with a dedicated guide. After 3 seasons, it featured only Japanese personalities like Paspo and Kiari Pamyu Pamyu. Japan in Motion uploaded the episodes in Japanese on their YouTube channel, and they were dubbed in French for No Life until 2018, when it switched to the channel J1. During those episodes, we follow Miku while she's discovering different places with their restaurants, shops, activities, and their beautiful landscapes, from a neighborhood in Tokyo to the surroundings of Mount Fuji. And it worked pretty well when she was on the show, as the 3 most viewed videos from the YouTube channel feature Miku. While walking in Kichijoji, a neighborhood in the city of Musashino in western Tokyo, Miku went to a shooting bar and tried different weapons. Note that she is shooting with airsoft guns and not real ones. In Japan, firearms are very rare among the population, and the law is very strict about firearms.
I was gonna say I was just thinking about that, where I was like, I wonder how many real shooting ranges that they actually have in Japan, and I wonder like how common they really are, because I'm like, I don't feel like they have very loose gun laws, and that it's very difficult to get like real firearms like in places like Japan. So that's like the first thing I noticed, because I was like, this is definitely not America, because in America we take anybody, doesn't matter if you're not from here, like just you got an ID card and you can go shoot a real gun somewhere.
A license is needed to own a weapon, and few dare to try to own a license. But it's pretty funny to see someone in a maid outfit shooting with big guns.
We gotta take it to a real shooting range. There's like places out in like Texas and Las Vegas where you can go like shoot tanks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of different wild shit we can get into in America. Like we gotta hook the maids up when they come to America next.
Now, this might sound odd, but BAND-MAID takes April Fool's Day very seriously. On April 1st, 2018, BAND-MAID announced that they were breaking up to create a new band called BAND-MAID. Under new names and looks, the members of BAND-MAID mixed hard rock and Maiko-style spirit. A Maiko is an apprentice geisha in Kyoto. Their jobs consist of performing songs, dances, and playing the shamisen or other traditional Japanese instruments for visitors during special events.
See, now I'm getting on the backstory of all the different stuff. Like, if I would have jumped on these documentaries sooner, if I would have, and my bad, guys. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get through these, but I'm happy that we did them. But it would have given me a lot of backstory when I would have gotten to the BAND-MAID thing, because like he's literally doing a great job of explaining literally all of it to the T, where it's like, okay, now I want to know exactly what I was getting myself into, where it's like, okay, April Fool's joke, the name pronunciation, what they were apprentices. He gave it all. You know what I mean? He's giving the entire thing. Like the storytelling and the passing of information throughout this entire series, I think has been really great. So I believe that, see, that's the thing. I want to say that everybody calls him Orange. So I'm just going to say shout out to the individual who's put these things together, because I think they did a great job through and through. Like, it's been a great series, and I've found it extremely informative. Like I said, it's literally answered all the questions that the masters and apprentices says of the world have answered basically through my comments and through me fumbling basically through all kinds of like missed theories and opportunities. But this has been great, and I definitely appreciated like watching this and then going through this journey.
BAND-MAID released the MV of a song called Secret Maiko Lips, a Maiko adaptation from the BAND-MAID song Secret My Lips, using a dialect from Kyoto. The next year, BAND-MAID released a mini album with 7 songs adapted from BAND-MAID, but also with one original song called Gyeoncho, along with a new MV. Two years later, Miku announced a solo project called Klupo, with the digital release of a single named Peace and Love. This time, they took the joke pretty far, as Klupo came with an official website, an online shop, a YouTube channel, accounts on Twitter and Instagram, and a spot on Pony Canyon's website. This project creates a new music genre called hippie popo and reinterprets the good old 70s music in a lovely and peaceful way. With Klupo, Miku goes from a black and white maid outfit to a very colorful hippie long dress. Her goal is the opposite of BAND-MAID, who want to dominate the world, as Klupo is aiming for world peace. Klupo released the music video of Peace and Love on April 1st, 2021, to follow with a new song entitled Flapping Wings on August 10th, to celebrate the physical release of her single, limited to 3,900 copies. She also appeared in some interviews and radio shows over the year. After the physical release of Klupo's single, we wondered if she would come back or if it was just a one-time thing. And on January 5th, 2022, Klupo announced Hateful, her first EP to be released on March 9th.
That artwork is fire,
which
though, with
is
the
Miku
shooting
Day.
the pigeon.
Mika, can you explain what is Miku Day?
はい、もちろん説明すると数字の3はみ、9はくと読めますよね。だから3月9日はミクさんなんです。
Thank you, Mika. We didn't have that much information about this EP, but a month later, the set list and an MV were announced. Hatoful will include Peace and Love, Flapping Wings, along with 4 brand new songs. Among those new songs, Pogo was chosen for a music video that was premiered on February 23rd, 2022. If you look closely at the set list, you may be able to notice something. Let's see. Peace and Love, Pogo, Flapping Wings,
ふわふわ、ボイス、スーパースター。
Oh!
あ、わかった。
I get it.
ピース&ラブはヒッピーっぽい格好をしているミサさん。
Yes, and Pogo for Akane because of the famous gorilla called Pogo.
羽ばたく翼という意味のフラッピングウィングスは小鳩さん。
Fua Fua for Konami because, you know, that's Konami.
ボイスはボーカルの佐伯さん。
And finally, Superstar. Could it be for BAND-MAID? And what they aspire to become? Well, this has never been confirmed, but it's very interesting to imagine why Miku chose those song titles. A few months later, Clupo continued to surprise us with a new single called With You, which was chosen as the ending theme for the anime Smile of the Ars Notoria. And once again, a beautiful MV was released for this song. Over 2 years of activity, Clupo released 7 songs and 4 music videos, which is a lot considering how busy Miku is with BAND-MAID. And even though we don't have any news about Clupo for 2023, we can expect her to come back in the future. Well, this is now the time to end our journey with Miku.
もうあっという間でしたね。
Yes, already. It's been a long journey though.
そうですね。小鳩さんの人生にはたくさん出来事がありましたね。
Well, she went through a lot. She had to live without a father very early in her life. Thankfully, Miku's mother and grandmother were here for her at that time. And Miku is so tough. Even though she sometimes talks about her dark thoughts, she always did her best to overcome them, move on with her life, and never give up. As soon as she knew that she wanted to become a singer, Miku did everything to reach her goal. Even if she sacrificed a lot of hours of sleep, she managed to earn enough to move to Tokyo and went from working as a maid to winning an idol contest. But this experience taught her that being an idol wasn't her thing. And when Miku finally had the opportunity to start her own project and create this miracle band, she had to find a way with the other members to become popular enough to pursue her dream. So she did what she does best, worked harder. Miku invited everyone she knew to the concerts, worked in a noodle cafe, sold tickets by hand, and promoted BAND-MAID as much as possible. Of course, she wasn't alone, as all her bandmates helped to promote their band. But as the creator and public image of BAND-MAID, she gave everything to avoid being disbanded. And all their efforts paid off when they chose to shoot the MV of Thrill instead of Aito Junnetsu no Matadoru. This particular choice led to the birth of a fast-growing overseas fan base and a huge boost in their popularity. This was the momentum BAND-MAID needed to reach the point where they could start to write their own songs and become the hard-rocking band that we know today. Without Miku's hard work, her love for maid cafes, and this idea to mix cool music with cute outfits, BAND-MAID would never have existed. With the miraculous creation of this impossible band, our 5 favorite maids continue to pursue the same dream, living as professional musicians and dominating the world through music. As long as BAND-MAID will continue to play their music, we can say that they are making the world a better place.
Don't you wanna say it? Don't say that. どうでもいいことなどない Where he lights up, move your way.
All right, guys. Well, we have reached the end of it. I kind of already gave the shout out to Orange and everybody involved with the documentaries and all that kinds of different stuff. I thought I thought this was a great, really well put together, extremely informative. The thing I liked about that closing was just kind of the reminder, I think, really of kind of like not only for like Miku, but like for every member of the band of like how they each had an individual journey that brought them into what we know now know as BAND-MAID. And it's a thing that I think I've been thinking about and talking about a lot lately is about like I think that like a lot of times like even when you think that you have an idea of like where you're going to go in life and how things are going to go and I'm going to make this step to make that step, and you know we watched this throughout this entire documentary of taking one step to another step which led it to another step, and the right moment at the right time, right people came together, and now it all came together and it all makes sense now. So, and sometimes it takes years for that stuff to happen. And we we got to see that like through like the entire timeline. So again, shout out to the entire put together of this. You know what I mean? Everything about this was cool. I loved the fact that we got like literally like the full history. So I felt like it's a couple of years old at this point. I think because it kind of stopped around 2023, I think is when they kind of stopped. So everything that kind of from last year is like not included, but they put out the new record last year, and like they're continuing to make music and whatnot. So like there's not like there's anything like missing from the story. So I feel like I kind of got a little bit more kind of up to speed of kind of like where the fandom has come and where it's gone. So again, I really enjoyed this through and through. And yeah, I think like even when she was talking about like, the getting past like the dark thoughts and all that, you know what I mean? Where one of them would have had to have the chance, and the thought to, kind of have that side of them and their personality. And to see it like in the one who's like the most bubbly. You know what I mean? Where I feel like sometimes the ones who are like the most excited and the most energetic are the ones that are the most sad. And I'm not trying to say that that's her. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm glad they put that in there. I don't know. Just that one little line just kind of got me. And it just kind of reminded me, like, you know, you got to keep pushing through. Because, like, the road of life, the road that life takes you is definitely a journey. And it's never where you thought it was going to take you. No matter what you think. So, the hope is that it'll end up for the best. You know what I mean? All right. That's all I got for this one, guys. Really appreciated it. Really appreciated going through this. So shout out to Postal Bob for getting me on this. And that's all I got for you guys today, man. Appreciate it. Do me a solid. Follow me on Instagram. You got the tears out of me today. Give me a follow on Instagram. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, if you be kind to a stranger, tell somebody that you love them. And if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you.